NBA 2K19 tutorial number 19. Today it will be a film study on showing you guys how to score by creating and utilizing the most efficient freelance spacing in the game. I will also show you how to combine that spacing with specific money plays from earlier tutorials to essentially complete my Pelicans playbook scheme for you guys once and for all. So please do review my previous money play tutorials for best results today if you haven't seen those. You can always go to my homepage and click my all 2K19 tutorial playlist and you will be able to see every tutorial made before this and after this one. So today's biggest thing that I want you guys to come out with or leave with is that how to use money plays and overpowering freelance spacing altogether. This is because money plays are great, but when they don't work, you can't go another play because you don't have enough time. So what you gotta do is you gotta throw into perfect freelance spacing. And how do you do that? Well, this year, you need to understand this first. This is middle pick and rolls will get destroyed in 2K19 because it's hard to get good freelance spacing to do it. You can see the spacing here is awkward, but Donovic is standing in the paint. And in case you're wondering what freelance spacing means, freelance spacing pick and roll, it just means any icon or manual pick and roll you call during freelance spacing. So that's what I consider freelance spacing pick and roll. And this year, that tactic when you do it from the middle is very bad. Even when you get the freelance spacing correct for middle pick and rolls, like in this case, I got the spread spacing correct from the freelance spacing, the defense is really OP against it. Like user defense combined with computer, or even on the user off ball and just lets the computer do it alone, they are very set up to shut this down. Like obviously, if you call this enough, freelance spacing, middle pick and roll, you make something, but it really is inefficient and it's gonna hurt you. Like over time, doing this equates a waste of your time. For those of you who have used to be relying on this, you know if you rely on this in 2K19, you're gonna struggle. So one solution is to run side pick and rolls and side pick and fades, as you can see I'm doing here, and much better spacing, more success. But even then, getting the correct freelance spacing for side pick and roll is also difficult. You can see this is not ideal spacing because Bogdanovic is kind of in between the area, not fully spread out. Like once again, even on another case, this isn't optimal freelance side pick and roll spacing either because this time Turner is standing in the low block, getting in the way. So being able to trigger correct freelance spacing for side pick and rolls is very hard. Like this ain't it either. In this case, Bogdanovic is still kind of weird. Now the corner is filled. It is very hard to find and trigger good freelance spacing this year. And I think 2K did that on purpose to probably create a skill gap because if you don't stay organized, it's going to hurt you. So what you got to do is you have to be in the Warriors freelance to run the perfect OP freelance spacing side pick and roll. So Warriors, make sure you're in Warriors. Like there's no if and buts against that. You got to be in the Warriors, and if you do that and you trigger a side pick and roll at the correct time, you get this perfect 2K19 freelance side pick and roll or pick and face spacing where there's an overload side, everybody is outside of the 3-point line, and on the strong side, the ball side, you have a clear corner and a simple pick and roll or pick and fade action, whatever you see fit. You do that with free shooters on the other side, you're gonna see a lot of efficiency. Like this spacing will yield, I guarantee it will yield you the highest offensive efficiency in the game this year because obviously you need the right roster, but once you get it down, free shooters and one roll man and one handler, this will kill it because it's very, very hard to defend with an overload side and an empty corner on the strong side. But to trigger this perfectly though, you must ask the screen from the big man who is closest to you when you are in freelance. So you can't ask for like the big on the first farther side. It's gotta be the big that's closest to you. So in this case for me, it's Thaddeus Young with Oladipo. And since Thaddeus can't pop, I'm just gonna tell him to roll. And you see I was able to find the space there with Oladipo. I missed the shot, but that's a good look. That's an efficient look. So same thing again, I bring him the ball. This time the closest big is Thaddeus again. So I still call a pick from Thaddeus. So if I do that from the closest big, Turner will clear to that side and create overload spacing. And Turner can shoot freeze as the center, right? So this works. I kick it through him. That's a good shot for Turner. Wide open. Early release, so my fault. But I missed this, but that's a good look. But occasionally though, you'll get a more spread type of spacing depending on how the rest of the team wants to run their route. This is based on tendency, but most often than not, you won't get this one. Like 80% of the time, you will get the clear one. But even if you get the spread spacing for the 20% of the time, this is still excellent because as the Collison is filling the corner and you're running a side pick and roll, the extra motion actually opens up the corner a lot of the time. And you can see because of the way location you start the pick and roll from, the defense can't win. They can't soft hedge, they can't catch hedge, they can't hard hedge. Well, they can do all that, but you have a counter to all of them. So be smart and read and react to the spacing, because you can see in this case I have already called the pick and roll with Thaddeus to run it on the side. Obviously, I'm going to tell him to set the screen on the baseline, switch screen timing, always switch screens. And you can see as the side pick and roll develops in the Warrior spacing, Bogdanovic is already clearing out. But I see the trap, so I kick it to Thaddeus. Now Thaddeus catches Steve in the paint, Giannis comes down. I kick it to Bogdanovic. That's good read and react and using the spacing to my advantage. And using a pick and fade in this freelance spacing, the Warriors freelance spacing on the side is OP. So you can see I have gotten the overload space this time where the corner is cleared, 3 guys outside, and I'm running a pick and fade with Turner because Turner's a good shooter. And you will get this shot a lot if your big man can pop. Because like I said, on the side, the defense can't really play you. Like every way they play you, there's a weakness to it. So you can see I'm calling a pick and fade, screen to the baseline. They catch hedge this time, so Turner's going to pop and he's going to be open. Because against a catch hedge, you got to pop. So to take this to the next level, what you want to do is you want to combine this overpowering freelance side pick and roll spacing with money plays. With all the money plays I've showed you from the Pelicans playbook. So you can see here I'm running give 4-2 punch, one of my favorite money plays this year. You guys know this one's very deadly. And I'm just running it as is and I get the cut option. So what I'm trying to show you is, like when the money play works, then it's going to work because it's a money play. It's gonna work. You don't want to run a freelance on the branches because no freelance has this branch or the give 4-2 branch. You know, the money play, the group 4-2 punch money play branch. Nothing is better than this, so you run this. But when it doesn't work, so you can see me call the give 4-2 punch here again, and it doesn't work. But I understand I'm already in Warriors freelance spacing, right? So when it doesn't work, all I gotta do is trigger a side pick and roll. Thaddeus is the closest big man, so I call it from him. And I know it's Thaddeus, so it's gonna be a screen to the baseline. He's gonna send me baseline, and he has to roll. And now we got that perfect spacing, and we will find success. So that's from a money play into our OP freelance pick and roll. Warrior spacing, right? Same thing here again. You can see me call give 4-2 punch. A very efficient money play. That's not going to work 100% of the time, even with the multiple options I have showed you. So this time, didn't work. So I'm going to call it from Turner. And it still worked out. Turn it into a pick and roll. Kick it to Thaddeus. Warriors freelance spacing. Even if I don't call it from the closest big, it still works. So, but to keep it really efficient, right? You want to call it from the closest big. This is a different money play. First 3-5 flow. Also from the Pelicans playbook. It failed there, but I understand Thaddeus is the closest big, so I'm going to call it from him. I'm going to ask for a roll because it's Thaddeus. Send me baseline. Do the dribble moves I taught you guys before. You see that side overload spacing with all 3 players outside of the 3-point line. That gives us all the option possible. Computer decided to soft hedge the pick and roll here, so they died to it. They were taking away middle, and I went baseline. There's no win for them here. So you can see me call it again. When Oladipo comes down the down screen, you know the drill by now. Call it from Thaddeus. Bogdanovic this time, I filled the corner. But this is still side spread spacing, which is not bad at all either. Because you can see Hansen is playing the catch hedge, which is going to give up the inside roll to Thaddeus, so someone's got to help. Giannis does, which gives up the open corner free. Side pick and roll. Undefendable by current 2K19 defense. User also, because this is how the NBA does it too. This time it's punch loop. You can see the same thing, didn't work, so call for a side pick and roll with Turner. He rolled too early, tell him to come back, call it again. Doesn't have to pop because Turner can fade or pop. The hedge defense drops this time, so this is against catch hedge. And in the case of catch hedge, if they drop, I pull. Right? Read and react. I've taught you guys this before. That's why this is so good, because it's fully flexible depending on how good you can read and react. And obviously, quick 4-3 flare, which is one of my favorite 3-point money plays this year so far. And this is just me running it as is. I turned it to the cutter version instead of the 3-pointer version. I didn't use the weak side flare, and I got callers and a wide open layup. This one, I can execute it to perfection combined with the freelance spacing. So I call it a play, quick 4-3 flare, but I understand the spacing, so I don't even run the play. I know Turner is going to be there. So I just call Turner for a pick and roll, and this time I get the overload spacing, they trap, I work the ball around, finds Thaddeus, he knocked in the corner, swish bomb. So this is pretty advanced, but I suggest you do this. So just call it a play and don't even run it, because you know the side pick and roll is deadly. So, but you know when you call it, you get the you get that good spacing for the side pick and roll, especially with your center, which is Turner. So the play gives you really good spacing to do this in the beginning already. So why waste time? I called it too early there, so Bogdanovic didn't feel the opposite corner. But even in spread spacing, this is still very deadly because of the location of which I started the pick and roll, the side wing area. Make sure you nail that down and make sure the screen sends you baseline. You're going to find a lot of success. Same thing here again, I call the play, but you can see I'm not running it. Once again, calling the screen from Turner, right? The closest pick, because Thaddeus is all the way to the other side. And you can see as Turner comes up, the team goes in that overload side spacing, undefendable by the defense because you just can't play this correctly. There's always a weakness to it. You will always find an advantage to this. And for those of you NBA nerds, this is the technique that the Warriors use between KD and Curry, and it's unguardable. They developed this during the finals about 2 years ago, or the playoffs, Western Conference Finals. And same thing applies to here. This is the defense cannot play this perfectly. Like you have to give up something. So they trap, they bring overload help, and then I find a free ball, right? You gotta read and react to it though, because 2K19 is a very good game. So the defense over time would defend this every which way. They will try every solution possible to stop you. They will soft hedge, catch hedge, hard hedge, double you, bring weak side help. They will try everything. They will pre-rotate, but as long as you read it correctly, you will find the solution against this if you run the side pick and roll with Warriors freelance pacing to start the possession or after a money play. So I have actually shown you all the possible solutions you can do here, so if you want to learn all of them, you can review it here. But the key to all this is you always want to maintain good space utilization. So you gotta understand, I'm in Warriors, I gotta call for the screen from the closest big, and if the big can pop, he pops. If the big can roll, he rolls, right? So you're always gonna use the best tactic available. So here I have triggered Turner to a fade. I went into spread spacing, but I don't panic because spread spacing, so they trap, so I rotate the ball. Because when they trap, you rotate the ball, but I missed the pass there. I passed too late, and I should have drove, so I trigger it again. It's still in spread spacing, I don't really care, it's still good. So it's fade. Now this time I saw them take away middle, so then I went baseline. They don't bring the corner help. I hezzy, seal, green layup, right? Layup triggers are also very important. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know how this works out for you, because in the end, you must be able to do this in 2K19 if you want to keep your offensive efficiency at a high level. There's really just no if and buts about it. Like, you just have to do it with this, because like I said, the defense plays every middle pick and roll correctly. A catch hedge will shut it down, unless you have a center that can pop out for freeze, but like that's not reliable. Even if your center can pop out for freeze, you're gonna give up either size or you're gonna give up, RNG. It's just a math problem. But with a side pick and fade and Warrior spacing, you can always find a weakness in the defense, even though you're using multiple players to screen for you, depending on their skill set. If it's a guy big that can roll, you can roll and find something else. If they roll, they catch hedge, you pull up. If they roll and they soft hedge, you hit the roll man. Or if you have a big that can only pop, so if they catch hedge, you shoot the pop. Or if they soft hedge, you slip him. Or you just run the pick and pop against like a hard hedge and you force spacing coming in to help, and then you kick it to the corner man, right? See, way better. There's a different solution for everything when there's a side pick and roll. When there's a middle pick and roll, you're playing to the defense hand. When it's the side pick and roll, you're making them react to you in a way where they can never really cover for everything. So make sure you get this down. If you got questions, please ask. Without getting this down, you will not see a very efficient offense coming from yourself. So get it down. Make sure you got all the settings and review the money plays if you got to. As always, thanks for coming by, and I'll see all of you guys again next time. Oh, guys and girl, next time.